All right, so I am joined by one of my long-term friends. This is
we've known each other a while.
right, a long time since undergrad. This is Michael Bridge Labrash,
Yep.
right? Just Bridge.
Yeah, Bridge for short.
And he's kind of a legend, like old school hippie, just super earthy, grounded. Like every time I see this man at a festival, I'm like stoked. And yeah, I just wanted to explore kind of your lifestyle, what you're doing now. You brought all these dope crystals, which if people can see, he's got these. Yeah, lift them up, show them around. Yeah. And he dug all these up out of the earth. Dude, this is crazy. Like, I'm looking at this. It's like completely clear and you have this white fuzz pinnacle in there. I'm like,
so the
dude.
pyramid structure is called a phantom.
Whoa,
and so there's a crystal within a crystal.
Dude, thank you so much for giving this to me,
man.
I really appreciate it.
That one's a freshie. It's still dirty.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's fresh out of the earth, dude.
Last week.
And that's so cool. I'm curious. I mean, I guess we'll start with that. Like, so first, where did you get these things?
So I actually acquired a mining claim up in Red Feather about 4 or 5 years ago now.
Red Feather Lakes,
an hour north of Fort Collins.
And so how does a mining claim work for mining? You're mining crystals?
It's kind of bizarre. So with the federal land, you can basically file through the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, a claim to have a 500 by 500 square plot where you get the mineral rights for 1 year.
Whoa.
And so you have to do a bunch of paperwork, put the exact location, have a land survey person figure out exactly where it is and how to map it out so they can find it.
Yeah.
And then you pay like $500 to the government, another 180 every year to renew it.
Yeah.
And you got this claim for 1 year, you get the mineral rights.
Dude, that's so old school. That's like Colorado mining.
1862 is when the first Mining Act went.
Whoa.
And we still refer to that.
And so you're mining crystals mostly? Like these are
mostly hematite, smoky quartz, and amethyst crystals up in Red Feather.
And
phantom quartz.
Well. So this is phantom quartz.
That's phantom quartz. Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's usually only found in Red Feather to get that clarity.
Dude, thank you so much. This thing is epic,
dude. Like, the phantoms on that just shine.
Crazy, dude. Like I've never seen anything like that. Not even at a gem show. This is sick. So endemic to Red Feather Lakes up here in Colorado. That's really cool. And it makes me think, like, what got you into mining crystals?
I've been into it since I was a kid. I used to dig Herkimers as a little boy. My parents had pictures of me when I was 10 digging with my best friend. I never knew this either until I was older. But I bought this book, Rock Hounding in Colorado, from the Denver Gem Museum. And 2018, I got super into it.
Yeah.
I looked into the book. Closest place by me was Owl Canyon for dogtooth calcite. Now, I got hooked with my first big cluster that came out of this cave. I found probably like a 5-pound cluster of dogtooth calcite, and I was hooked.
Oh, calcite's cool. I have a huge calcite in my house.
And it's UV reactive. So you put under a UV light, it shines purple.
What?
And I just started pulling out chunks out of this wall. I got super addicted to that feeling of finding buried treasure.
Dude, it's
literally finding buried treasure.
It's like a little kid. You just
it is.
So how do you do this? You're like going through a cave, or you're just digging in the earth and being like, I hope we hit something.
In Owl Canyon, there's like a cave on the cliff, and I climbed up to it, and there had been people mining this cave for years, and I just happened to find the right spot in that cave that was unmined. And I pulled out cluster after cluster.
Whoa.
And once you get that feeling, you're hooked.
So are you like are you a crystal dealer at this point?
I am now.
I mean, inevitably, bro.
You end up getting so many that you just have to become a crystal dealer.
Totally.
It becomes more than a hobby at that point.
And if we're talking about crystals, I mean, we have to talk about the, I guess, the metaphysical properties of crystals. And this is something that I used to be like, I don't know, like, motherfucker, this look like a dope rock. But like, as I've started to become more attuned to it, I really do think there's an energy and actually a communication between these just crystalline structures, really. And
I agree,
intelligence in them. I'm curious what your perspective on it is.
Well, we use quartz crystals like this in every single computer, cell phone. So they're really good at storing information.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. So
that's actually
we
crazy.
Already use this in a very powerful shamanic way every single day.
That is like shamanic.
Yeah.
So we're putting these trippy quartz crystals into
quartz crystals in every single computer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild. And it stores information.
It does, yeah.
Dude, have you ever heard about like those Lemurian crystal skulls?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that? Because that shit kind of blows my mind.
You know, I know a little bit about it, but not a ton.
Me too.
But I'm down to talk about it.
No, I mean, I know a little bit about it too.
Yeah.
I just want to let people know. So allegedly, there are these Lemurian crystal skulls, and what the Lemurians aren't they this like race of extraterrestrials? Or
something like that, yeah.
Some crazy heady new age shit that honestly might be on point. That is allegedly these skulls that are hidden around the earth have like a crazy amount of information in them.
Yeah.
And my question is also, I mean, I guess maybe we'll plant the seed. Maybe someone will comment who knows more about this, but how do you access that information that is stored in the crystal?
A lot of people will say meditation. You sit with the crystal, you meditate with it.
Interesting.
Lemurian quartz are known as record keepers too. They'll have this almost like a barcode in it.
Well, like a
that you
visual
could
barcode.
see, a visual barcode.
What?
Yeah, inside the Lemurian quartz. Dude. That's all. You know, I know it has a lot to do with Mount Shasta too. People
Shasta's
believe the Lemurians are underneath the lake. Dude. Or underneath the mountain, I believe.
So are Lemurians like benevolent? Are they malevolent? Like, because I've heard some sketchy stories from Shasta.
Me too.
Like,
Shasta can be weird.
Yeah, dude.
In a good way too.
Yeah, I guess I haven't spent enough time there, but the story that comes to my mind, I was actually working at like a addiction center, and one of the clients there was really into these like spooky, real paranormal stories. And he sent me one, and this is like posted on the news and shit. So this family is like camping at Mount Shasta, and they look over, and their like little like 4-year-old son is just gone. Whoa. And everyone's like, oh my God, where is he? They get the search party out there. He's gone for like days. Wow. Eventually the search party finds him in a bush literally hundreds of feet from his campsite. And they're like, wait, how did he end up here?
See this, yeah.
And they talk to this kid, and everyone's just stoked he's like alive. And he's just saying gibberish. He's 4 years old. And like he comes back and he's speaking to his grandma. I think it's his grandma or his aunt. And he's like, I don't like the bad nana. I don't like the bad nana. And the grandma is like, who's the bad nana? Yeah. And he tells this story of this, like, oh, it's giving me chills. This being
kind of feeling that
too.
That
sort of looked like his grandma in the woods. Whoa. And she was like beckoning him into this bush. Yeah. And he goes in there. She takes him. She said he like flew to this cave, and something about he was in this cave with this being who looked like his nana but was sort of off. Yeah. And at one point she turns to him and her head turns into a glowing ball. And he said he blacks out, wakes up in the bush. What's trippy about that, the nana, the grandma, says she had insane encounters in Shasta as well. Where her and her friend were camping. He had an RV. She was tent camping. And this is years before in Mount Shasta, which is why it shook the grandma to hear this story. Yeah. Where basically they feel like kind of spooked out or something, and they're like, I guess we'll just go to bed. They go to bed, and the woman wakes up face down outside of her tent in the dirt. And she looks over, and her guy friend in the RV is face down, still sleeping outside of his RV. And the question is, what the fuck happened to these people? And then what's the creature that, like, who knows, stole the, like, physical form of the grandma and then used it to lure in a younger generation of the family? I'm like, dude, okay, if you believe that, what the fuck is that, dude? Yeah. Like,
is this Shasta?
Yeah, this is Shasta.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
It sounds like aliens to me.
That's what I'm saying. But like, what's the MO there? Yeah. What's the MO? Like, just to spook people?
It's always the question.
Right? Do you think it's like they're probing us or changing our genetic information? They're like taking something from us? That's like the whole question with the alien topic is like, if they're here, what's the MO? Are they just chilling and like going to Burning Man and seeing what the fuck is up? Like, you know what I mean? And I would say, yes, they are.
I feel like they're always testing our consciousness.
Like,
seeing,
are they
like,
ready?
what level are we at?
Are we ready? Yeah. Are they ready for contact?
Yeah. Should we throw in some more technology or just kind of,
and then they see the state of the world. They see TikTok and they're like, nah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, their algorithm's not right yet.
So, yeah, no, exactly. They'll get dialed. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still infants. That's
exactly.
how I look at
right
it.
now, it's like the algorithm is just like titties and people getting hit by buses, and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
like we could use this for anything, and that's what our consciousness is choosing algorithmically. Like, come on,
That's
you know,
what attracts us for some reason.
it's that primal,
Yeah.
not just primal, but I think unconscious mind.
Mm.
Like you go into just blackout mode, and it's like you're hitting only the most primal, like dopamine receptors. Like, oh, titties, oh, some dude's like squatting 1,000 pounds, or which is cool, but it's like we could be using it for anything. You know,
right. We're using our primal instincts, what we're attracted to.
right?
It's kind of funny because that's what gets me back to the crystal topic is the shine. There's something about like the glimmer of finding a crystal in the sand or in the dirt.
Totally.
That is so primal.
Yep. Dude, I've always wanted to get into like I do get it. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like you're a little crow and you see something shiny, you're like, ooh, what is that?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, but I always wanted to like, what do you call it when you're like, you got like a metal detector on the beach and just hearing stories? Some dude literally finds like 10,000 gold doubloons from a sunken Spanish like ship, and you're like, wait,
even a Rolex. People find them all the time.
Who's losing a fucking
or wedding
Rolex?
rings?
Dude, who's losing a Rolex and a wedding ring at the beach, bro? That's,
you know, you're out there in the waves. You never know.
I guess that's valid,
yeah,
dude.
people lose it so
they lost
easily.
some weight. And
Yeah.
that would fucking suck.
It happens
actually.
all the time.
That's actually
People
valid.
find
Dude.
them all the time.
That's trippy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's something about like just that come up on this, dude. I mean, let's just think of what formed this.
Yeah.
Like, so can you elaborate? How did this crystal come into like being, looking like this?
Volcanic activity, lava and heat vents from millions of years ago. And red feather was formed about 2 million years ago. So that's around 2 million years old.
Whoa.
If not older.
Dude, that's so trippy. Like geological time. I remember when I was in geology at CSU in Fort Collins where we fucking met.
I wish I took that course.
Dude, the biggest thing I learned was just, wait, the spans of time when you're starting to play with millions of years here on Earth, you can't help but feel so unbelievably small. And there was something in my being where I was like into Eastern traditions and meditation and different ways of, you know, seeing and relating to the world. And just even stepping into, 20 million years ago, it took, 15 million years for this weathering to occur. The flat irons are what, like, how old are the flat irons? Like 3 million?
Yeah, a couple million years old,
right,
for sure.
Which is insane. And then you think, time is also relative. So this happened, in the lifespan of a rock, the blink of an eye.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so this is like a conglomerate of certain minerals, certain elements.
Yeah.
This is a mineral.
Yeah.
Quartz.
Quartz
the elements that came together to make it, and then how it just cools.
Yeah.
Randomly.
And
quote
for that, a crystal cooled inside of it first, and then the outer around it. That's how it has the phantom in general.
Dude.
So
there's
something
something
even more rare.
And yeah, dude. So there's a crystal that formed, and then a clear crystal on top of it. So this makes me think of the intelligence inherent in all of creation, in the natural world especially.
Yeah.
Like you see the way that these things are made. Is this random? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
it. It doesn't seem like
and the
it.
way it fractals into that design, the terminations and
what's a termination?
A termination is just the point. It comes to a point at the end. And you call those terminations.
Totally, dude.
And it's to see nature fractal out like that, it makes you see there's a bigger, creator. Something. There has to be a designer to create that.
Right, exactly.
Sacred geometry is what people refer to that.
The crystalline structure of crystals.
Yeah.
And understanding, I mean, we have to have that. I mean, we came from the same intelligence at the most zoomed out level, the source of creation where we all came from.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so we came from the same intelligence. What is the intelligence inherent in our design, in our consciousness actually already? And how much of that is actually, I mean, my question always is being repressed or suppressed. You know what I mean? Or oppressed.
All the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And it's trippy. I don't know if we want to open this can of worms, but this age that we're living in of people really waking up to, I mean, many things. When I say waking up, I mean it in a very general sense.
Sure.
Waking up to different ways of relating to ourselves, to relating to the natural world, to relating to life and death. People are waking up out of this conditioning. And my question has always been, has there been an active, desire to keep that down? And we don't have to open this if you don't want to, but it's always been a question of mine. That's what I'm saying. It's like, We lean into like, is it a conspiracy theory? Am I crazy? Is Alex Jones onto something?
Like, no, I mean, we've been repressed, sexually through, also, can we enhance our consciousess through psychedelics? Those have been repressed by making them illegal.
Totally.
It was like in the 60s where the biggest revolution started happening, right as the invention of LSD came out. And then the sweeping 1970 Drug Act made all that illegal to repress our consciousness. It looked like we were making such good progress, and then it got shortened. And then we had the 80s.
Totally.
And the 80s weren't very I don't know.
Cocaine
artistic
and ecstasy, and is that when ketamine started to be like a thing?
Is probably when ketamine just started becoming a thing, but cocaine was big,
right, dude? And it took 80s. So long for like psilocybin to really catch on, which is like one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, me too.
And so again, the repression of psychedelics. My whole question is: do you think there are people being like, "Oh, too much light, let's keep that down," or are they just? I mean. Were they just literally scared? Like, there's people running around. All the girls are naked. What the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like the people in control were scared, for sure.
The old heads.
They didn't want to lose power. Yeah. And they could see that this big shift was going to change everything.
And what's trippy is I like that you said they didn't want to lose power. Yeah. Because what happens when you have these deep spiritual openings through psychedelics or meditation, whatever means, or just organically. Some people it just spontaneously clicks.
Sure.
But you recognize maybe what I am is not just this body and mind. Yeah. What I am extends so much farther than that. Maybe I could be everything in creation and beyond that. And at that point, what happens to the power dynamics? Do people still value the same shit that they value now? I value going to a mall and spending $400 on shit I don't need, or you know what I mean? Like, is that still what we're going to value?
Hopefully not.
Right. And that's the thing. When we keep people, I would say, in this delusional experience of identity, again, identifying with the ego, it's good to keep them small. And that's what you're doing. You're actually keeping them small in the ego. What if we all could get big? What would change in our world as far as just the things that we value? Again, maybe life and death wouldn't seem so solid, actually. Maybe this thing that dies is a small part, an infinitesimally small part of everything that we are. So it's okay if this form goes. For me, it's like, I know what I am. Yeah. When creation wants to take this, go for it. Like, literally, I know what I really am, was really never born and could never die in the way that we see it.
Very true.
Right? And that's
We're
the thing.
Just avatars,
Right.
Yeah.
Avatars of what? Is
exactly.
The question. That's
what
the
we're
question.
All figuring out.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, I mean, just to riff on the Dharma element of it, the Buddhist element is, we're all avatars of what? When we say that, it's open to infinite interpretations. And many different spiritual traditions claim certain avatars or what this incarnation is, where it came from, what the purpose is. But ultimately, in my mind, when you sit with it enough, you recognize so many people are living in drastically different worlds.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Like, so which one's the real one? You know what I mean?
A lot of people are NPCs versus main character.
Dude, I'm glad you said that.
You have to embrace your main character energy.
Yes.
And then just like live your life to the fullest, experiencing as much as you can. Because our time is so little.
Exactly.
We were talking about the span of time to create these crystals. We're just a fraction.
It's so small. It barely even happened, bro.
But it ripples.
Exactly.
Millions of years later.
And that's the thing, recognizing, if what I am really is all of creation, that includes all the people here, all the beings here, all the trees, the clouds in the sky, the stars in the sky. That's me. What's the purpose of this life other than in part, to enjoy this life, to live it up, to explore, but also to lay the groundwork and the foundation for future generations, which are you, to have a better time. You know what I mean? Yeah. What culture do we want to feed? What, the whole two wolves allegories. What wolf do you want to feed? Recognizing whichever wolf you feed is going to get stronger. So do we want to feed fear? Do we want to feed acceptance, love, unity, connection? That's the thing. We're laying sort of that track for the next generation of not just kids, but of you.
Definitely.
Because the way I always put it is the same consciousness that sees through my eyes, that feels my body, that hears my mind, is the same identical consciousness that sees yours. Different mind, different body, different life, different experience, different name.
Yeah.
Same consciousness that's witnessing it all. And at that point, like, you know, the people that are experiencing evil, like literally the people getting raped, murdered, people like homeless, shaking on the side of the road. Yeah. That's you, unfortunately.
It is, yeah.
And that's where I feel like a lot of people actually do not want to inhabit the more expansive, sort of non-dual view where we're everything, because it's painful to recognize, oh, wait, that means that person, again, trembling with a needle in their arm is me. Fuck. And that's where it's like, can we open to that pain and still maintain that expanded awareness? Or do we shrink and say, no, that's not me, sucks to suck?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now we're in our small, separate, finite self. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's this play of the mind, right?
I love seeing myself in everyone, like you're saying. And I love the idea of we're the universe experiencing itself. The good, the bad, everything. It's all part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I have this vision that keeps coming to me. When we die, we live every single person's life through their eyes.
Whoa.
And trippy. Like within seconds, you know,
you enter into that unity space.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's perfect unity.
Totally.
Like we live every person's experience. And once you see it that way, you really treat people differently.
Totally. Exactly. And
like, that's, you know, with respect that it's yourself in a different way.
And I just had a podcast with my homie who is like one of my best friends and very Christian at this point.
Oh, cool.
And he says one of the main things that Christ actually taught is treat your neighbor as though they were yourself.
It's his best teaching. It really is.
It's just like, it's so simple. It's the shit you learn in kindergarten. It's the golden rule, bro. It's just treat others the way you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Why? Because they're you. You know what I mean? Yeah. It really is pretty profound like that. And that's where it's like, where is all this evil coming from? That's been my question. And actually we could, I think, reduce it to this, what the Buddhists would call a delusional experience of self, which is I'm identifying only with this small ego. And when this small ego is all that I am, just again, cocaine, bitches, dope vacations, fuck everyone else, because this is all that I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a delusion.
Sure.
And that's also like, it's like a hellish existence when you're really trapped in that's all that I am.
You're trapped by the ego.
Exactly. And so many people don't know there's another way. So it's almost like we have this cramp in the psyche. And we just like, oh, fuck it. It is what it is. I guess I'll live with this forever. And it's like, no, stretch that shit out. Expand it a little bit. You know what I mean? Expand your sense of self where I can be this ego. And, you know, the ego is fluid always, whether we know it or not. But I can really inhabit that ego. And I can have that flexibility of mind to actually shift and say, yes, I'm the ego, this separate self. And also, I'm everything that could ever be.
Yeah.
Can I hold both of those? You know what I mean? Which seem to be counter into like sort of paradoxical, but actually I think that you can hold both.
You can.
And that's the thing. Sometimes it's just Ben and Bridge talking. Yeah. But sometimes, you know, the names fall away and we're in a really transcendent space. And the soul can like drink that water. That's the way I put it. The soul like can drink from the water of the infinite, actually, which is recognizing you're in this place beyond words actually right now. If you hold a certain view, story, understanding. But this is a trippy conversation off the bat. Maybe these crystals charged it up.
They're absorbing it right now.
Good, dude, good. And this brings me to another one of your passions, bro, which has been growing cannabis.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for?
I've been growing cannabis for 21 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, how old are you?
People. I'm 36, actually.
Dude, this guy is 36. He looks like he's my age. I'm like 29. He like legitimately.
Cannabis can stunt your growth.
Yeah, which is good when you're already
you take it when
an
you're
adult.
young. Yeah.
Yeah, but also I was smoking at an Olympic level when I was like 14, 15.
That's when I started.
Yeah, it was bad. You know, it's just it's like, how do I put it? The way I see it, it's like that relationship with like a woman, like early in your life, and it turns codependent because it's so good, and it just turns toxic and it's fucking your life up. And I had to take like 6 or 7 years off of
that's
smoking
great.
weed ever, basically. And then I just started back up like this summer.
Wow.
And dude, because it was something about like getting these things in my life in order. I got my master's degree. Yeah. I started the therapy practice. I'm doing the coaching thing. I started the podcast. Like I got, you know, on the cover of Playgirl, which is kind of sick.
That's awesome.
Isn't that hilarious, bro? But
it's a huge
and it was like
accomplishment.
It's kind of an accomplishment. It's kind of hilarious given like
no, definitely
right.
Only a few people get that, so
that's actually valid. That's only 12 a year, so I guess it's kind of sick. It was my second time modeling, which is hilarious.
That's amazing. That's even more special.
I was like, yeah, okay, I'll take it. I couldn't say no to that, but basically when I got all these things sort of in line in my life, it's like cannabis allowed me to my being allowed me to really sink into that deep relaxation with cannabis, which is kind of vulnerable. When you're really high, it's like, oh, holy shit. Especially if you're really baked, like your demons
brings
come
out your
up.
paranoia for sure.
And yeah, again, there's something about cannabis, not just paranoia, your self-doubt, all those demons that are in the back of your mind that you can usually look the other way from.
Sure.
It all comes up. And
does,
that's where it's like, I would love to sooner rather than later be doing like cannabis assisted therapy.
Sure.
Because like what comes up when you're hella baked?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And can we actually pull those thorns out of your psyche? That's always a metaphor. It's like you're pulling thorns out. Can I learn how to relate to this story I have about me, or this notion of right or wrong, or success and failure, better or worse? Can I relate to this in a more skillful way so that it's not unconsciously just stabbing me? You know what I mean? And that's the thing. The weed seems to make us more sensitive to what's already here.
And you know what you were saying about taking a long break, I suggest everyone who's a daily smoker should at least take 1 month to 2 months out of the year to be completely sober. Yeah. At least from cannabis.
And dude,
I do that for myself.
Totally.
And I've been smoking for 20 years now. So
look at him, bro.
I have to take a month or two off just to reset. See, you don't need the plant, you know.
Exactly.
It's not controlling you. And you know, cannabis is all the flower we inhale is a female plant. It has a lot of female energy to it.
Totally.
And you can definitely become obsessed, addicted, just like a normal female.
I know.
In a lot of ways.
Shorty too fine sometimes. I can't leave her alone.
You can get addicted to it.
And it really is like a relationship you're building with these plants. And so you got the Shabipo headband on.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm curious, do you want to talk about other plant medicines?
Sure.
I would love to. I mean, what's your experience with, if we're talking about plant medicines, you got the Shabipo headband, ayahuasca.
I have yet to do ayahuasca. I know it's going to call me most likely when I lose my mother.
Oh, shit.
Because it's referred to as the mother or the grandmother. And it has a lot of female energy as well. Although I also have heard of it as the trickster energy. So you have to be aware.
That's kind of my experience with ayahuasca.
And my mom's been dealing with cancer for the last 5 years. Bro. I just know that day's going to come and I've been saving it. And I just know call me when I need it.
How are you doing with that?
Seeking it out. A lot better now, because when they told my mom she had cancer, they told her she had 2 years to live.
And this was 5 years ago.
And this was 5 years ago. So we've had 3 extra years, and she's doing great. She lost like 50 pounds. She's in the best health ever.
Aww.
I got her on turkey tail mushroom supplements.
That's what I was going to say, like the Stamets.
Which are amazing. She is super into the Stamets formula. He cured his mom of breast cancer with it. She has a type of blood cancer, but that she uses breast cancer medication for. So I figured the turkey tail would help her. And she's so... like, she believes it so hard that I think even as a placebo, it's working. Dude, if not, it's working too as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to hear that, bro.
Yeah, and she's doing great.
Paul Stamets' story is crazy. He's like, his mom had tumors the size of grapefruits in her breast, stage 4 breast cancer. Yeah. And with turkey tail, and I think also, traditional breast cancer medication, the things are completely gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, stage 4 breast cancer.
Yeah, he healed her stage 4. She's in remission now.
And then there's that component, which I think we can't just go over, which is the role of placebo.
Sure.
The role of placebo in what we'll call health as well as dis-ease. Yeah. And also the role of placebo in just general mental health.
Yeah.
And it brings me to this topic that a psychologist that I love said. Well, it's really a quote by him. James Hillman, founder of archetypal psychology. He has a quote where he says something along the lines of, imagination or reality is actually an imagined story that we have forgotten is an imagined story. So that basically is implying, and this is true, and Buddhism speaks about the same thing. Our imagination and what we call reality are not actually two separate things. They are completely inextricably linked, if not actually identical. Because again, our experience of reality of our sense of self even is an imagined experience. Always, always, always. It's just the imagined experience that we say isn't actually imagined. No, this one's actually real.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're imagining that it's real.
Yeah. Shows you how powerful the mind is.
Exactly. You know? And that's what I want to start training too. And this is, Joe Dispenza type shit. But it's like when we take the governors off of our mind, what's the limit? What's the limit for how much we can spontaneously heal ourselves, for how much we can, accomplish physically, mentally, for the ways that we can just, I mean, I don't know how deep I want to go on this right now, but it's like
that's fair.
The Tibetan Buddhists, I'm going to go deep on it. So
let's go deep.
Let's
go all the way.
The Tibetan Buddhists have this practice called dream yoga. One of the teachers are actually sort of native to the Colorado Front Range, or not native, but he lives here. His name's Andrew Holacek. Came and spoke at my grad program. He's a Tibetan Buddhist teacher. And he has written books on dream yoga. He's the best Western teacher, in my opinion, at translating these ideas. Sure. But what dream yoga is, it's not, you're not doing asanas in your dreams.
Yeah.
You're actually learning how to maintain subtle awareness throughout the entire dream experience.
Sure.
So you are maintaining awareness as you enter into phase 1 through 4, or is it 4 or 5? Whatever. All the phases of sleep, you're maintaining awareness, and you're maintaining awareness as you enter REM and dreams. So you're actually never losing consciousness, because for us, we actually don't attune to the subtlety of consciousness when we enter into the dream state, and thus it's so dull it feels like we black out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But you can actually attune consciousness to that very subtle flavor of awareness, where you don't fade out in the dullness. It's just, you're just receptive of it, and you're paying attention closely. So you can, again, maintain consciousness into all your dreams. And it's like 3 or 4 a night. Sure. And even phase 4 sleep.
Yeah.
Dreamless sleep. I think it's phase 4. Where, again, most people, there's nothing. It's almost like, the way I put it, seems like, from what Holacek describes, like a non-dual experience. Where subject, me, the viewer, and the world, the viewed, the object, actually merge and become one. And at that point, where are you? And you recognize the fabricated element of, all of it.
I feel like I've been searching how to lucid dream for so long, because it seems like such a amazing ability. You can control what you do in your dream. I've had it maybe 2 or 3 times, but it's rare.
Same.
You know what's really helped though? Is microdosing mushrooms, psilocybin, right before I go to sleep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you sleep on I guess a really low dose?
So you take like a 0.2, 0.1, and you'll take it right before you go to bed, so you're already sleepy. So you access it, and it activates during your REM sleep.
Whoa.
Or during your sleep in general.
Yeah.
And, mushrooms help your neurological synapses in your brain to just kind of regenerate. And you're already doing that when you're sleeping.
Shit. Interesting. So it's like a win-win kind of situation.
And you wake up feeling so good.
I gotta try that.
I highly recommend
What kind of dose do you take before bed?
And I do the I think you can look it up. It's the Paul Stamets method, where he does niacin. Exactly. You do it with that right before sleep. And what do you ask, the dose? Yeah,
what dose of how many milligrams of psilocybin do you take before bed?
0.1 to 0.2.
Yeah.
So that's
sounds about right.
Very small.
Yeah.
Just a half of pill cap.
Totally. Just where the neurogenesis is starting to fire a little bit harder. Yeah. That makes sense.
And you want it so you can sleep, obviously. You don't want to wake up tripping.
Yeah, no, that would suck. It's I got work tomorrow, and I guess we're up all night.
Exactly.
I guess I'll play guitar and just wait for sunrise.
And I've done that with microdoses. I'm like, I'll take 3 or 4, and I'm feeling it.
Yeah, shit. Yeah. That's hilarious. And
it's a sleep thing. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, I've never tried that. I've never tried that. I'll have to sometime. But so connecting this dream yoga back to what we're talking about as far as what is, just to bring it back to what is real, quote unquote real with consciousness when we have taken the governors off of our minds, what's possible. And the Tibetans say that actually there is no distinguishable difference between dream experience, dream consciousness, and waking consciousness. Even though in dreams, like you said, in lucid dreams, we can fly.
Yeah.
And why can't I fly here? And that's interesting. And my question is, are we putting that governor on ourselves? Not just in the individual sense, but when we live in a culture which says, you can't fly. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and so it is. We are the creators, and so it is. And the Tibetans would say, yeah, so we do that. And in Tibet, they have stories of literally these Tibetan masters walking through walls. Literally, my homie Jeremy, who's just on this podcast, he actually went to Tibet. He's now a Christian, but he was a heavy Buddhist. He went to Tibet, went to this monastery. And these people would say their masters just literally levitate from monastery to monastery through the mountains.
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
You hear about, levitation and levitation with sound even.
Totally. And
yeah.
So there's
something about
there's a scientist, his name's Dean Radin, and he studies these really interesting sort of ESP phenomenon, extrasensory perception, and like sort of psychic phenomenon.
Sure.
And he actually but he discovered what he calls the notion of a field of belief, where when he would do an experiment with subjects, if he told people in the surrounding community he was going to do something like that, where who knows, can they bend a fork with their mind? All of a sudden, if he tells people, the results are actually statistically significantly different than if he did not tell people.
Sure.
Which means maybe there's a field of belief that we're all actually in all the time.
Yeah.
That is affecting what is possible for us and what is not, and what happens if we could liberate the minds of the collective human consciousness. Because again, at one level, we're not separate, we're all one thing.
So
it's one hive mind in a
unified
sense.
Consciousness.
Right, that unified consciousness. If we all start to loosen, if we all start to open to things that we thought were impossible, maybe miracles can really happen, and we can start to levitate, float through walls, miraculously heal, go through time and space, which is what all of these teachers, like, in Christianity, mystical Christianity talks about those saints that can literally levitate or walk on water, like who. Or, in Tibet, they talk about, again, levitating from place to place, spontaneous healing. Those monks have you seen this? Where in Tibet, they sit in meditation and they actually, so their bodies like mummify.
Oh, yeah.
And the students are actually like, they're not dead. They've been there for 150 years. And I saw some weird thing on Instagram where they actually can trace some like really subtle biomarker where they're actually like, they're not completely dead, which is fucking insane.
That is nuts.
Right? So their bodies are not decomposing. They're mummified. And it's like, wait, what's going on there?
And speaking of unified consciousness, to bring it back to plant medicines, have you ever had an experience when you're on a psychedelic and you can almost, if you have friends or, a bunch of people who are on the same dose, you can almost tap in together on the same frequency where you can almost read each other's minds?
Yeah. I wouldn't even say almost.
You definitely
can, bro. Like anyone who's been on a good amount of psychedelics,
you definitely can.
You definitely can.
And on this like unified consciousness, when you're all there together, it almost feels like you can manifest anything, bro. And I've had moments where I've been in a group where we've manifested the weather, we've manifested food, we've manifested anything you wanted in that moment, as long as you all are kind of tapped in and believing it.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to happen. It can happen.
And that's the thing. It's like that psychic capability of human beings, which again, maybe has been repressed and oppressed. And even some people hearing this might be like, oh, these motherfuckers are crazy. Why? What conditioning have we been given to say that, oh, there's no way we can read each other's minds? When most people, if you actually pay attention to your experience, you've had an experience where, oh, I'm thinking about my friend and she calls me then.
Sure.
You know what I mean? What's going on there? Oh, maybe the world is not as, tight and materialistic as we thought that it was. And then again, what's possible? And Nikola Tesla had a quote that I heard in the telepathy tapes. Have you heard that podcast?
I was thinking about that.
Oh, that's really trippy that you were thinking about it and I just said it as we're talking about telepathy. Okay. But there's a quote, and we'll talk about the telepathy tapes.
Yeah, sure.
It's so fucking wild.
It
but
is pretty wild.
I think there's a Nikola Tesla quote, who's again one of the most intelligent human beings probably to grace this planet in a long time.
Oh yeah.
Was he human? We don't know. But
there's a lot of suspicions.
Yeah, right. But he said when science, something along the lines of, when science shifts its focus from the seen to the unseen, we'll make more progress in a decade than we have in the history of science.
Yeah.
And it's like, can we focus our attention and awareness on these things that we can't quantify, measure, and replicate in the way that the traditional scientific method says we have to?
Oh, yeah.
Because like psychic ability, how do you quantify that?
True.
There might be a way, but again, we just disregard it. And is that intentional? Or is that just people just being kind of like wet blankets? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, there's so much we can't see either. Frequencies of light, sound. There's there's things around us that we're not even aware of.
And Buddhism talks about that.
We have limits on our body. So, but there are ways to access that.
Can you say more to that? So what are the unseen forces around us, and how could we potentially access seeing them?
I hate to break it down to psychedelics.
Bring it.
Psychedelics can pierce the veil, can kind of remove what we know is around us at all times. Thinking about it, think of it like a DMT trip. It brings you out of body somewhere else into what people say is a different dimension.
Yeah. And
are there different dimensions around us all the time? It makes you, once you come back after an experience like that, you really do question it. And that's a thing I wanted to talk about, because ayahuasca, honestly, maybe there's some people that won't like this, but I don't like it that much. And it's not that I've had bad times. I'm just like, I've smoked so much high quality DMT in my life where I'm like, I don't want to just get wrecked and shit my brains out when I could just blast off. How many times have you done that?
I've done ayahuasca 4 times.
Okay. That's a decent amount.
It's a decent amount. I haven't done it in like South America.
Sure.
So I'm like, maybe, again, there's a different field of belief and a completely different setting. I did it in Washington, and then I did it in Boulder. Well, yeah, in Boulder. Oh, okay. But I love smoking DMT. I love smoking changa. I think it's like more straight to the point. And it's like, but those places that you go.
Yeah.
So the whole thing, especially if I'm going to break it down from a Buddhist lens, we can ask the question, is this in my mind? Yeah. Or am I actually in a different place?
Yeah.
And again, it seems almost dualistic when you can also say, maybe it's both. Maybe it is in my mind, and that means I am actually really in a different place. And like, because the structures that you see, the absolute ineffable beauty you get on that DMT blast off experience, like, I think it changes people at a cellular level. Yeah. And my theory, again, this is maybe a little far out and probably unprovable, but actually there's like some you're actually shifting your through the multiverse. I think you're actually shifting into a different timeline when you have those huge snaps in consciousness, and it comes back and it is never the same. No matter how many times you do DMT, like, everything becomes so fluid. That's what it is. Like, everything turns to liquid. Everything that seemed real and solid is now fluid. And there's such a diverse range of experiences you can have there. And I've had, well, I guess what I would generally call demonic experiences on DMT, and on high dose psilocybin.
Sure.
Because I'm gonna let people know I like high doses of psilocybin at the right time.
Me too. Yeah.
But sometimes it turns into like, if I'm doing 20 plus grams in a day.
Yeah.
Or like I'll tell one story. I just broke up with my girlfriend. We were dating for a while and turned into this crazy toxic relationship. And I was just so fucked in the head over that I went to the Maroon Bells and I was like, I just need to go out there by myself, go backpack for a few days and just get my head right. So I brought some acid, I brought some mushrooms. I ate like a decent amount of acid. I'm on that high. So I'm hiking up this mountain pass, just beaming. I'm stoked. And I get to the top and I'm like, okay, sick. I could probably hike for another like 4 or 5 hours and then set up camp, eat some dinner. So I'm like, I'm gonna eat some mushrooms. My homie gave me this chocolate bar that was like 1/8 of albino penis envies.
Oh, those are fun.
They are. And I also had a pocket full of, probably in my pocket was like a 1/2 ounce of albino penis envies. And the ones he gets are fat. And I'm like, so I eat that chocolate bar. I'm like, that's delicious. I end up eating the whole thing as I'm walking down. And then I just, for good measure, take a handful of the like dry mushrooms. And so I took way too many. Yeah. Way too many.
Yeah. Sure.
And I remember I'm walking down this mountain pass, and this is years ago. So it's young Duff by himself in the mountains. And I remember there's a storm coming in. So there's thunder in the distance coming towards me, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I hope that doesn't hit me. It's coming straight at me. Yeah. I remember I was walking down this pass, and there's points where I was tripping so hard that I didn't even know that I was walking. And I was like, wait, I've been walking this whole time. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's just like everything. It's like, you know, the textures are all blurring and melding. And I'm like, what's going on? And I remember I saw this being. Like, and again, it's like, you know, real, unreal. It was hard to tell the difference at that point. And I remember I saw it and it was like in a bush. It was like looking at me and it looked like kind of malicious. And I stopped and I was like, what is that? And dude, so okay, at that point, I get fucked by this hail and thunderstorm. So I'm basically tripping so hard I can't see.
Yeah.
As it's hailing on me, as I don't know what to do. I'm like freezing. I'm like, okay, I guess I pitch my tent.
Get cover. Yeah.
So like, yeah, exactly. Get tucked into the tree so I don't get struck by lightning. Pitch my tent instantly, and then I crawl in my tent. And this was one of the most difficult psychedelic experiences of my life. I don't know how to describe it other than it felt like energetic rape. Not sexual rape, but there was something on me and I could feel it on my back. It was like a weird, I kept getting a vision of like something like a flea, like really close up on this big fat insect that was like on me. And I'm in my tent so high. I'm having this experience where it feels like it's draining me and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, what do I do here? I'm like, I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of energetically. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And eventually the storm passes. I get out and I'm telling you, I feel like vulnerable. I feel like, what the fuck just happened? Something just took something from me. And I'm like, dude, fuck this. Like, I was going to be out there for a few days, but I was like, dude, I'm just going to hike back to my car. I'm over this. Like, at that point, I was like, there's real shit in these mountains, and a lot of it you can't see.
Sure.
There's real creatures out here.
Real consequences, too.
Yeah.
Like, you could get hurt in those situations.
Totally.
So.
I mean, good thing I didn't get struck by lightning.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, like, you know, with psychedelics, aren't you scared of having a bad trip? And for me, it's like, that was about as bad as it could get. You know, I was by myself. I get out there. I'm like, dude, fuck this. I start walking back up the pass. And, you know, Colorado, then the sun opens up and I get hit with that. And it's the maroon bells. So I'm like, holy shit. And then I was like, I'm feeling great. And I just ended up hiking the whole loop. But it's like, that's the thing. If you can like really adapt to those intense experiences, because is it uncomfortable? Sure. I wouldn't call it a bad trip. I mean, I guess you could call it bad if you wanted. I wouldn't label it like that. Just difficult. You know what I mean?
The medicine will test you.
Yeah. And,
you know,
and that's the thing. People hearing this probably are more versed in dealing with like spirits than I am. It's not my expertise. So I'm like, I'm sure that there are ways to deal with these unseen forces, especially these malevolent things out there, that maybe could be beneficial in an experience like that.
Sure.
And just to wrap this full circle again, because I always bring in the Buddhist lens, are those demons, are those whatever the fuck energetically raped me and the maroon bells, like, is that like a real thing outside of my mind? Or is this part of the like a demon that I took on from this toxic relationship, perhaps? That's like a demon in my own mind.
That's what I was thinking more. Right? It's something subconscious. You know, it's something in your subconscious is telling you, like, you have trauma here, and this is what you need to heal. And that's what, like, a lot of plant medicines and mushrooms have the ability to do, is they expose that trauma. Yeah. And people call it a bad trip, but that's what you needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it needs to scare you into sobriety or scare you into wherever path you're heading. That's why I love those medicines. You know, and doing a heroic dose like you did is very scary, especially alone.
Dude,
in
I'm
the
a
woods.
Psycho.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. I don't know.
You probably see it how I see it, which is like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Once you do it like that and you see it as a ceremony, like, this is something I'm supposed to go through. Yeah. I'm supposed to suffer. Yeah. I'm supposed to feel all these feelings of doubt and regret and everything that comes up in that experience. And at the end, it changes you for the better.
Ideal. It depends how you relate to it, right? Because if you say, why me? I just got, now my life is fucked. Now I have demons in my head. It's like, be careful about the story that you layer on top of that experience. And I will say that you are layering on that experience.
Exactly. Even calling it a bad trip, you've changed the whole dynamic of everything.
Right. And that's the thing. The labels we have around our just experiences is constructing them, not just in a heady way, in the way we feel in our body. Yeah. You know, like, and that's the thing. Can we own that? And that's, I think it's like a part of the maturation process of human beings and just consciousness of recognizing, oh, wait, my experience is not dependent on the world as much as it is dependent on my own relationship with the world. And at that point, the focus is inwards.
Yeah.
And can I focus on just tweaking my relationship to maybe some unpleasant experiences to where, they're not actually that unpleasant when I'm like, the mundanity in life, for instance.
Yeah.
Or the crazy breakup or the losing your job. Sure. How am I relating to that? What's my story around that? Does the breakup mean that I'm unlovable and I knew I wasn't good enough? Or does that mean we're just not compatible for life or whatever the story is,
You can't define yourself, based off of the bad experiences.
Right.
You have to see the whole.
Right.
And, man, you were talking about your experience with psychedelics like that. It reminded me that's actually how I got in my name, Bridge.
Yeah, no, tell me about that. I actually don't know that story.
It's a little bit of a longer story, but I'll kind of tell you the synapse.
Yeah.
I was living on the Big Island of Hawaii. It was probably like 2014, 2015. And doing the woofing program.
Nice.
Stands for Worldwide Organization Organic Farms.
Mm-hmm.
You work on a farm, they give you free housing, free food.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed at this beautiful place called Alohilani Farms on the Big Island, right off of Papaya Fields Road. It's a gorgeous place.
Never been to Hawaii, so
highly recommend
People keep
it.
telling me, bro.
It's like a festival every day.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? They're like partying and dancing and
Well, you have the ecstatic dance community out there. That's where it originated from.
Oh, really?
It's Kalani, which is one of the biggest ecstatic dances on the Big Island. It's been going on for 20 plus years. It's people say it's the original ecstatic dance community.
Interesting. Okay.
So they have that. They have multiple dances at the Garden Temple and other places throughout the week. The community, the drum circles. Kalani has this beautiful beach too, called Kahena right near it. Everyone goes down. It's a nude beach. There's drum circles. There's like
such a vibe.
Such a good culture. And you can see a lot of people from Oregon and California moved there and kind of took over, which has its, it can be good and bad in a lot of ways. Yeah, because, a lot of the natives there
are not about it.
Yeah.
Makes sense, bro.
Of course.
Guess what the white people are doing again? Colonizing the beautiful places.
This is true. And a lot of people are respectful in a lot of ways to the culture.
I would hope so.
But, it's just a different lifestyle. Island life is a lot slower. It's beautiful. I loved it out there. Working on that farm taught me so much. The person on the farm, Brian, he is an amazing farmer and just human being. Like, he taught me so much. He let me borrow his truck to go on adventures around around the whole island. A person I really became friends with out there was this guy Harvey, who is a beekeeper. He came to our farm, would tend the bees, but he also made jewelry. We worked for Third Eye Pine Cones, putting in the little nautilus shells in everyone. Me and him really bonded because we loved the game of chess.
It's a good game.
We would eat cacao beans with hash oil on it.
What?
Yeah. So when you put hash oil on cacao beans and you chew them really, like grind them with your teeth, it activates the oil in both of them, activates the cannabis and the cacao.
Whoa.
And you get this like uplifting, energetic high.
Timeless combination.
Kind of like a sativa high the whole time.
Nice.
And we'd play hour-long games of chess. We'd get super into it.
Yeah, for sure.
He gave me this book called The Shamanic Way of the Bee, which talks about...
I've heard of that.
It's a beautiful book. Talks about shamanic... The shamans, the shamanic people, the voodoo doctors, they were the beekeepers of the tribe. Basically, the shamans would look over the bees because they have healing properties in the honey. There's medicinal properties, and then there's also psychedelic properties in honey.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Like, have you? This is not the like Nepali.
No, it's a different type of honey.
Okay.
Yes, there is actually several forms of psychedelic honey.
I've been trying to get that.
Yeah, me
have
too.
You ever gotten that?
I actually haven't. No.
It's been on the to-do. We'll find it.
We'll get it for sure.
I saw they sell it on Etsy. I don't.
Well, I've made psychedelic honey, but that's what psilocybin.
Yeah, you just crush mushrooms.
You slow boil it with honey.
Wait, slow boil the mushrooms with like in a pot with honey.
In a pot with honey.
And does it actually turn blue?
Not really. No, it darkens the honey for sure a little bit because you're heating it. You want it super low.
Yeah, nice earthy flavor to
That's
it.
kind of different, but
right. So tell me about the psychedelic honey in Hawaii.
So it wasn't psychedelic honey necessarily. It was he gave me what's called the royal jelly.
Right.
It's the queen's food that they make only for the queen to eat. It's a type of honey. Yeah.
I thought the royal jelly, don't they feed the royal jelly to the babies?
That too. The queen makes it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Dude, bees are so weird, bro.
It is
They're
weird.
cool as fuck.
They're amazing to
They
watch,
are,
and they have so many medicinal properties.
Yeah.
With that, he gifted me the royal jelly, a big honeycomb, and I was kind of having a little fling with this woman on the Big Island. She is a lot older. She had just came in from India, and we had a thing where I was doing some farm work for her, and she was paying me in psychedelic mushrooms.
That's not a bad trade.
Yeah. And she was also, giving me a place to stay and like give me she was the first person to give me a didgeridoo bath.
A didgeridoo bath.
Do you know what that is?
When you're just getting blasted with a
when you're laying down on the ground, someone's giving you a sound bath over your whole body.
So Shorty's giving you mushrooms, Shorty's giving you the didge baths, place to stay. Sounds like a kind of solid setup.
It was a solid setup until she was like, you have to stay at this farm forever.
Oh,
and
interesting.
It grew a little possessive. Ooh. And I cut things off.
Naturally.
And it went kind of bad.
Oh,
she called me up and told me she put a curse on me. All these things.
Did she actually put a curse on you?
I think probably. Yeah.
Oh, tell me about that. What do you mean?
I mean, because what's funny is I got a call maybe like 5 years later. She just calls me out of the blue and says the curse is lifted.
What?
Yeah. And then 2 years after that, I randomly see her at Burning Man.
Oh, classic.
Yeah,
of course.
She didn't even know who I was.
Whoa.
We started dancing.
What?
And then she stops and looks at me and she's like, I used to be in love with you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Past life type shit.
Yeah.
That's a trippy story, bro.
It is a trippy story.
How's she doing?
She's doing good.
She's still casting curses?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, I guess you did her dirty. Or it sounds like she did herself dirty by trying to make you a slave on this farm,
yeah,
bro.
I was supposed to be her farm boy, slave man.
I can see how she'd be into it.
She's in her 40s. I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
It was like,
she's like, you're mine now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. So, bro, okay, so.
But I get the mushrooms from her. I get the honeycomb, the honey from my friend. It's my last day on the Big Island. This is how I got the name Bridge. Is I went to this place that no longer exists. It was called Green Lake. It was the oldest place on the Big Island. Huh. It was a national park really close to the farm I was working at.
So what happened? How does it not exist?
2 years after I left, it got taken over by lava.
Whoa.
The lava eruptions that happened literally evaporated the entire lake, took over that whole plot. It's all a lava plot now.
Wow.
Which is crazy because it's the oldest place on the Big Island, someone told me. They said over 1 million years lava hasn't touched that place.
And then it touched that place.
Right after I was there.
Yeah, that's cool, though.
That place doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's going to be so trippy when I go back because in my mind, I have so many different images of like a lush, beautiful forest. Trees, the plants are bigger than they have ever been on the Big Island. And so like it's going to be a mind-bending experience going back.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
That's
and it almost took over the farm I was staying at.
Whoa. I mean, I guess
luckily it moved and
there's literally nothing you can do to stop a lava flow.
There isn't. And that's what's dangerous on the Big Island. You buy property, who knows how long it'll be there.
Bro, that would suck.
Beachfront property could be beachfront lava plot.
Yeah, bro. I mean, is there insurance for that? Insurance isn't covering that. Yeah, we got a lava flow coming straight your way. I would just say, yeah, right. I'm sure
it's hard to get insurance in Hawaii for fire and lava.
For sure. But okay, so this play. Wait, was it Green Lake?
Yeah, it's called Green Lake.
Yeah, R.I.P. Green Lake. And but so
beautiful place.
So how'd you get the name Bridge?
Yep. So it was the last day I was gonna be on the Big Island before I took a flight back to Colorado. I wanted to do what I was considering a rite of passage, which in my line of work, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a huge heroic dose of mushrooms in the jungle by myself.
Yeah.
See what happens.
That's where we're on the same page.
Yeah. Let's like go out on a bang, you know?
Exactly.
And so right before that, I actually, part of the farm duties was feeding the animals. I fed the cows that morning and then I milked them. Farmer told me how to milk and I would get raw milk. nothing is better than raw milk. Once you have it, you're kind of always seeking it. I know.
Dude, I had goats actually at CSU. Did you ever come see the goats when you were
I never did,
Dude,
no.
We had Nigerian dwarf goats, like less than a mile from campus.
Yeah.
Those things were loud. They were the neighbors were pissed. My homies had to get I left and went to India, but they had to get a legit goat license. Fort Collins never had a goat license before us, apparently.
That's cool.
But dude, we used to milk them on the washing machine. And dude, I remember just
goat milk, that must be different too.
Creamy and warm. Yeah, right. And you're like, wow, this hits. Yeah,
right when it's warm, it's kind of weird, but it feels it's good.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, this is nice.
That's what I was gonna say too, is the animals I was feeding every morning, bananas and papayas.
Oh, dude.
There's a local farm that would give us all the extra bananas and papayas. We'd load into barrels. And I would just shovel it to the cows, the pigs,
those cows
horses.
Get diabetes or some shit, bro.
They just ate grass and fruit.
Dude.
And their milk was the sweetest tasting milk I've ever had. And so was the meat. The farmer would butcher one every now and then. We'd get like a stew or something. It was so good.
That does sound... Dude, you make me want to go to Hawaii.
And I was vegan before I lived in Hawaii.
Then you had to eat the sweet
once
meat.
Once I ate the organic sweet meat, I was sold. I was sold.
I
was like, this is better than being vegan.
Yeah.
You know, and he did it on such a beautiful conscious level. With that, so yeah, I'd milked the cows. I had a mason jar full of milk. I had the honeycomb. I had the mushrooms.
Wow.
And I had the royal jelly.
Such a beautiful lineup, dude.
I had everything I needed. I had a didgeridoo that I was using as a walking stick. It was a bamboo one that my friend had carved an Om symbol onto it, and he had etched or wood burned the name Bridge into the top of it.
The name
This
Bridge.
is before I even was
Bridge.
calling myself Bridge.
Interesting.
This is one of the things that aligned that became Bridge.
Yeah. Why did he write Bridge on it?
I have no clue. Maybe because of the Om symbol was a connection to source or bridge. I have no clue really.
Maybe it was just written in the stars. You were meant to just see. He's like, he was being guided.
And it was funny. I could not play that thing for like weeks. I had it for like 3 weeks. I still couldn't play it. Even on that last day, I could barely make a noise with it. I'm hiking. I had the farmer drop me off around the back of the national park, so I don't have to pay the $5 to get in. So I hiked.
$5.
It was like $5. It was
You're
cheap.
like, nah, I'm not doing
I was like, nah, I'm going through the back way, avoiding all the tourist traps.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want any trails.
Yeah,
I want to go into the jungle.
Are there like snakes or anything in there?
You know, Hawaii's actually like known for not being the only dangerous things in Hawaii are the boars.
Yeah.
Like they can fuck you up.
Yeah.
You know, there's like bees and stuff, but no venomous things.
Right, good.
The most venomous thing is the it's like what is it? A millipede or a centipede. Yeah.
Are they big?
They're big and red.
Ooh.
And I hear the bite is like a bullet. It feels like you got shot.
Damn. I mean, I'm keeping any foot-long millipede like at least
I've
6
seen
feet
them.
away
They
from
look
me, bro.
Pretty fucking dangerous.
Yeah. Nah.
So okay. I would not mess with
I respect the millipede. We'll leave him alone. Yeah.
Anyways, so I get dropped off in the back of the island or back of the national forest. I hike through it. As I'm hiking, I haven't done any mushrooms yet. I'm kind of saving that for the right moment. I come upon this giant tree in the middle of a field, and it's full flower, full blooming. We called it a monkey pod tree. I know there's a more technical term, but it has these beautiful pink flowers that hang down from it. And it's the biggest one I've seen on the Big Island to this day. I hike up to it and I start walking around it because it's so massive, the trunk of it. And someone had carved a giant statue of a woman out of some kind of tree and placed it against the side of the tree. So there's this big statue in the middle of the field, middle of nowhere in the jungle. And that so I'm like, this is the spot I want to do my ceremony.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I have a giant honeycomb and I just line up with probably like 10 to 12 grams of mushrooms. Whoa. Just all at once, right on top of it.
Yeah.
And I burn sage and Palo Santo around the tree. and I make the intention that I just want to learn something.
See, that's where maybe our experiences were different. I was just being an idiot and just like, I'm gonna eat a handful of mushrooms.
Yeah,
you had the intention.
And well, you were doing it too for healing too.
Yeah, I was doing it for healing for sure.
I was kind of doing it just to like understand myself. Like, what am I? Why am I here?
Yeah,
in this place.
Valid
what does
questions.
it have to teach me?
Right.
And so I eat that whole the whole honeycomb with all the mushrooms on it. And then I just remember I had to chug all the milk because I like need to get down the mushrooms. I was like, oh, this tastes horrible.
Damn.
I'm gonna get through
you
it.
You ate them all at once.
All at once. Woo! On the honeycomb too, which the honeycombs can be thick and like kind of they're full of honey.
Waxy
and pollen.
too.
Waxy, very waxy.
You're just picking that stuff out. You got the mushrooms.
I was just like trying to chew it and swallow it.
That's a medicinal. That's a medicinal little beverage you got there. Yeah.
And I started hiking after that ceremony. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find this green lake. You know, I want to get to the water. Hiking through the forest, like 10 minutes into it, I started feeling anxiety.
For sure.
I'm like, wow, that was a big dose. It's hit me quicker than I thought. For sure, yeah. But I'm ready. I had a joint ready, like a fat joint with a little, had tobacco, lavender, like all my favorite herbs to smoke. And there was a tree falling over. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit by this tree and I'm going to smoke the joint and see what happens. I sit by the tree, I lay down. The roots are all coming out behind me. I have these little baby dreadlocks because I was trying to grow dreads in Hawaii. Great spot to grow dreads because the salt water locks it up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Highly recommend if you're going to do dreads, you want to be by the ocean.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. The salt water, the salt, everything just locks them.
The humidity.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. And so I had these little baby dreads. I light the joint. I take one hit. And I just feel this giant pulse from the ground.
Whoa.
Just pulse through my entire body all the way up to my third eye. And right when I felt that, silence. The whole jungle. Like all the birds, the insects, every little thing just started completely silence.
Yeah. That's trippy, bro.
Very trippy in the jungle.
How'd you feel?
Oh, I felt like, okay, something's about to happen right now.
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
Interesting.
And I feel this pulse again from the ground. And it feels like my little dreadlocks lock into the roots behind me. Like they get entangled. And I just hear this voice, clear as day, of a woman. And it almost sounds like my mother. And like the overwhelming anxiety of the mushrooms and everything happening just made me ball out crying.
Whoa.
I just started like breaking down.
Yeah.
And I'm like weeping at the sound of her voice. And she's just comforting me. Like she's just like, I love you. Like, you're okay. You're safe. And you know, she has this conversation with me, like telling me, but it felt like, you know, the human race, us, that like how much she loves us. And she cares for us, and she wants us to learn to do better for ourselves because we're hurting ourselves. Wow. I got that. That was the big message I got from her.
That was this was the voice of your own mother, like your human mother.
Similar but different.
Yeah. Very
similar, but enough that I knew it wasn't her.
Yeah.
But it was enough that I knew it was a mother, a motherly voice, at least. Wow. Yeah. I refer to it as maybe Pele.
Yeah.
Which is the goddess of lava, or even Mother Earth herself.
Right,
dude. Speaking to me is what it felt like.
From what I've heard about Hawaii, I mean, just the amount of life there, it's popping.
They call it the belly button of the earth.
Interesting. Why the belly button?
Because that's where we're birthed from. Our umbilical cord comes from our belly.
Right.
And so that's where all the energy, the mana comes from.
I gotta go there.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So is there more to that story?
Yeah. Well, the rest of the story was talking to her. Time somehow flew by. I never made it to the Green Lake because I'm like talking to her. All of a sudden, the sun's going down. I'm in the middle of the jungle.
I mean, 12 grams of mushrooms and a joint will probably do that.
I think so too. I'm talking to her and I'm like, I gotta get out of this jungle before it's nightfall and I get lost. And she's like, well, you came to learn something, didn't you, about yourself? No. And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I made that intention. She goes, what do you want to learn? I don't know. I'm like looking around like, oh,
you tell me.
I see the didgeridoo and I'm like, I don't know how to play this. I was like, teach me how to play this. And she goes, pick it up and play it. And so I pick it up. I start playing it, and I can do this thing called circular breathing right away. I can instantly play it, and I can instantly do this technique where I'm just channeling my breath nonstop while breathing through my nose. And it's just creating, you know, the drone sound of the didgeridoo right into the earth. As I'm playing it, I'm seeing your, you know, in yoga they call it prana, your breath, your energy. I'm seeing it literally as light coming out of my mouth through the didgeridoo into the earth. And just like the light going into the earth. And as I'm doing that, I'm just like blown away. Like I keep playing for what feels like hours. It's probably maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. Who knows? But I play it nonstop, and then I stop, and she goes, use this instrument to be the bridge to connect to me.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and then I'm like, I need to get out of here because it's about to be dark. And she goes, yeah, you'll find your way. And I start walking, and a trail just opens up. Like the grass slowly parts, and I get this weird swarm of insects just swarming around me, but not landing on me ever, just kind of like guiding me out.
Wow.
And so I walk out of the jungle just following this trail, and it pops up right to this place called the Mermaid Ponds. It's these tide pools right at the ocean. And it's beautiful. The sun is setting right into the ocean as I made it to these ponds. And I get in a tide pool, and I'm just sitting there like, finally the anxiety and everything from the mushrooms is coming down. The come down is finally set in. And I'm like, did I just hallucinate this figure, this woman who spoke to me?
Right. What is hallucination?
Exactly. Bro? I was like, was that all in my mind? And I was just like, I need a sign right now that it wasn't. And I kind of spoke that into existence. I'm like, well, let's see if I can even play this didgeridoo. Because I couldn't play it like a day before.
Right.
I start playing it. I could play it. I'm like, well, that's a start. And then I started doing it. I can circular breathe. And then I started doing it to these plants in front of me where they had all closed flowers. Slowly, one by one, as I'm playing, the flowers open up in front of my eyes.
What?
And I'm just like,
dude,
I know there's plants that can do that, but I don't think it was those ones.
I don't believe in coincidences, bro. I don't know.
And that whole thing just changed me forever. I wrote it down in my journal on the flight home. Yeah. And I was listening to Spotify. And I was very into Nako Bear. I love Nako.
I was just looking at Nako's making a comeback, bro.
Yeah, he is. I was just at a show.
Thank God.
And the song, for the first time I ever heard it, was called To Build a Bridge.
Yeah.
That song came on. I was writing in my journal. I forgot to tell you about this. The master beekeeper in the book, The Shamanic Way of the Bee, his name is Bridge.
Oh, all these timelines kind of intersect.
I'm writing that down. Yeah. I'm listening to the song. I'm remembering what she told me. And I'm like,
interesting.
That has to be the name. I wrote it down like 4 times. It's like not a coincidence.
You, bro.
And then I took on that name like 8 years ago.
So. Dude, let me shake your hand.
Yeah.
That's a sick fucking story, bro. Yeah. That's and that's the thing, man. Like with psychedelics, specifically with tryptamine, so DMT, psilocybin, it seems like you're tapping into a more magical realm.
Oh yeah,
where like synchronicities happen, weird shit that you cannot explain away, the telepathy, the communication from plants and things beyond. I can't wait to tell some of the stories. I don't have time right now, but dude, we just opened again that can of worms where the magic that is accessible through consciousness with the aid of these medicines, with these allies, they're tapping us into a deeper, richer experience of this place without the same limitations. For me, you know, so many people get trapped in, was I just hallucinating? And we're falling for this flat materialistic paradigm, which says, oh, those are hallucinations. That's not real. It's like, bro, you know what's bullshit? Like that we follow these narratives that make us stare in front of a computer screen for 10 hours a day. That seems evil. Like, are you sure you want to believe in that magic? Because that is magic that's convincing you to do that. I would rather believe in the magic where the Pele is speaking to me, where I am communicating with the flowers, with the earth, with the mother herself. ourselves.
We are.
And we are.
Yeah.
But yet we've been conditioned to say, no, we haven't been. And that's the fucking evil, dude.
Yeah.
Disconnection from the mother, from the source, from the father, all of these things. It's just make them feel alone and make them feel afraid. And this is where psychedelics can open us up to that reconnection. And that's really what the waking up is, maybe recognizing, not even maybe reconnecting in traditional sense, but recognizing we've always been connected.
Sure.
Taking that mask off, that lifting the veil. And that was an incredible story, and I would love to. We got to do another episode, bro. Because I have some
time fly by.
It's like 1:35 right now.
Oh wow!
So I got a client at 2, so I got to dip in a minute.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Bridge, my man.
Yeah, it's great talking, man.
Yeah, you too, dude. And your fucking fit is on point. You just show the camera, dude. Look at that pendant he's got on right now. The tats, the hat, dude.
Unison.
He's dressed. I told him, I was like, yeah, just dress nice because we're gonna be on camera. And now I feel like a schlep out here, bro. He's
I'm like ready to go to a show.
I know you are. I'm like, yo, what, are we dancing after this or what? But Bridge, do you want to shout out like your socials, your cannabis company if you have one?
Sure. Grateful Grove is who I work for. They're right at the Avalon Ballroom.
Nice.
So come do an ecstatic dance on Sunday. Bless up the space. Right next door, we're growing cannabis.
Nice.
It feels the energy from the dance.
That's cool. I didn't know it was right next to the Avalon.
It is the Avalon. It's in that building. We're just connected on the other side.
So you're there every Sunday for dance?
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta go. I haven't been to ecstatic dance in years.
You would love it.
I know.
That's
dude.
your crowd too.
That's what everyone says.
It's a beautiful crowd.
Maybe this Sunday.
Let's so shout out Ben.
Yeah. Oh, you're so
Boulder
sweet,
ecstatic dance.
Shout out, yeah, Ben Boulder. I thought you said Ben Boulder.
Oh yeah,
dance.
you too, Ben.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll take it. But Boulder ecstatic dance. Shout out. If you're in Boulder, Sunday at the Avalon.
Yeah.
You'll see me. You'll see Bridge. I'll be there eventually.
Yeah.
But Bridge, thank you again, my man.
Yeah, you too, brother.
So
it was good talking. Likewise.
And there will be more episodes sometime soon where we talk about more crazy psychedelic encounters with demonic/angelic beings.
We got a lot of stories between us. I can tell.
Guarantee it,
we
bro.
will definitely
This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. All right.
One love, guys.
One love.